What is up, everyone? Sean here, and today in this video I'll be sitting down and talking about the new Need for Speed on the PS4. So I streamed and played it for a good 5 hours and pretty much got everything I needed to know about Need for Speed, and pretty much can call this a review or pretty much a big ass first impressions. But anyways, where do I start? So let's just start out with the positives here. So Need for Speed is kind of returning back to its roots with Underground, Most Wanted, and you can throw in Carbon if you want. But it kind of shows with the cutscenes, and they put some thought into it, and I kind of appreciated that, and kind of takes me back to the days of Most Wanted. And I'm talking about the one that came out for the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. Really do appreciate that. It kind of throws me back, and thought they were, really cheesy in this rendition, but kind of fun and entertaining either way. So, but that's just me. But the thing about that is, like, it demonstrates how powerful the system can be, with the PS4 when it transitions to the actual game engine, and it shows out the car really beautifully. And the transition from live action to game in game is pretty seamless, and it really shows what next gen graphics can really do for these games. And Need for Speed kind of shows that, and I thought it was pretty neat and really cool at the time. So and speaking of the cars, they absolutely look beautiful. They are rendered really good, and especially when the game is in motion, I thought it looked really good. And the rain, all the details, the city and stuff like that looked really lifelike. It was as if you are pretty much driving in the city. And also, one of the most important things about this game is the customization. The vast customization has returned to this Need for Speed, unlike the recent Need for Speeds that we've gotten over the years. They were really lackluster, or really just non-existent, really, which kind of put me out of the map for Need for Speed for a while. The last time I played was Need for Speed Rivals, and it really just wasn't anything new. I felt like it just kind of was lackluster, even though it was trying to be quote-unquote real instead of being arcadish, even though Need for Speed was known to be arcadish back in the day. And I mean, it's fine for the new generation of Need for Speed fans, but personally for me, it just wasn't cutting it. And the sounds were really cool. I had to turn off the music for copyright purposes, so that was off, unless I was getting chased by the cops. That the music there was present, so I think it was okay on that part. But other than that, that's pretty much all the positives I have to say about it. The controls were kind of stiff for me, and took some time to get used to. Especially coming from Rivals, like long. It's been a long while for me, so I had to get used to the controls. And once you get used to it, it's not terrible, but definitely it could be better in my opinion. And it's trying to go for the simulation / arcade hybrid. But in the end, I really tried to get into it, but just it wasn't cutting it for me. And a lot of things that I kind of wanted in this Need for Speed is missing. So now we kind of get into the negatives, unfortunately, and it pretty much outruns the positives that I had for this game. I really wasn't satisfied with what Need for Speed had to offer. I mean, I played for 5 hours and pretty much got everything I wanted to know about Need for Speed and needed to know. And there's really not much to it. It's just really disappointing. I mean, some people might find the controls just fine, and that's okay with me, but personally, I just couldn't get into it. And it wasn't just the controls; it was also the overall presentation. Not that it looked bad, but it was just like the feel, the cinematics, the cheese, the hype. it was kind of missing from Underground, Most Wanted, and Carbon. And it's kind of weird for me because this Need for Speed was trying to be real, but at the same time, kind of, you know, trying to get with the times. And you definitely see that with the characters, like especially with Spike. He's like, yeah, bro, dude, yeah, we gotta get these guys to notice us. And speaking of which, that's pretty much the premise of this game. You're just out there to get noticed. And there's not really much to see from the quote unquote, rivals or antagonists. There's not much drama going on in the beginning, and that kind of it felt stale to me. I know Need for Speed shouldn't be graded based upon story, but personally, that's what got me like so into Most Wanted, Carbon, and what have you. Said games. It was just that presentation. You see the Blacklist racers and then the bosses from Carbon, with Darius, Kenji, Angie, and Wolf. And I love that. I love bosses in these kinds of games. I think it gives me more reason to beat these guys, gives me more reason to play the game so I can beat these guys. And the first person I was racing against, he was just like a nice guy. I mean there's nothing wrong with being a nice guy, but it's not much drama. It's just like a friendly race. Like, okay, sure, I haven't I've only dove into 5 hours of it, but that's kind of important. You need to make an important first impression for people to get into, and this Need for Speed just couldn't do it for me. A lot of it's just lackluster, and not to mention the police chases. The music was really subpar, in my opinion. It was kind of there for me. With the old games I've mentioned before, it were much more cinematic. It felt like I really was in a hot pursuit. Even the one of the newer games on the PS3, well, quote unquote newer, which was the newer Hot Pursuit. That one was pretty cool because it still felt like I was, either getting chased or I was chasing people down on the streets. And even though I had no characters, no story really, some of the presentation was there, and the feel of it, and the rush, the thrill was there. And again, I just felt nothing from this Need for Speed, and I think other people feel that way too. I mean, this Need for Speed has mixed reviews. It feels really divided. It's this game is for the people who love just that simulation feel, but having to throw in that urban theme to it just enough so that they kind of just can still stick with it. And also it's for people who love to just customize cars. I think this time around the car selection is pretty solid. It has the RX-7, the AE86, the BRZ, the FRS. It had a good selection of cars, but that just wasn't enough for me to keep me going. And back on the police chases, not only the music felt just lacking, but the actual overall chase, really, like the format. There's no traps for you to activate so that something collapses on the cops. They can be immobilized, kind of like in Most Wanted. It's just you're literally just just running away, good old cops and robbers, really. And you can turn off your engine to hide away from the cops when you're in some kind of alley or spot. That was the only thing new really for this cop chase part of Need for Speed. Now I will say that it isn't as bad when you're getting caught. It's not as hard to get away from the cops, so I would like to commend them for that, kind of balancing out that issue. Previous games were pretty harsh on that, and yeah, it made things a lot harder. And made things harder for people to stay with the game. So overall, I just couldn't get into Need for Speed. It just didn't have the elements that I wanted in this one, and just couldn't meet my expectations and satisfy me. So there's nothing wrong for the rest of you guys that like the game. I mean, it's not a terrible game by any means. It's for those who like that simulation feel, and also people who want to just customize their cars. This customization is very vast, it's open, and you can do a lot of things with it. And there's already just like funny pictures of people doing some dumb stuff because you have a lot of freedom in the customization. So good on them. I mean, I think that's a really fun part, but for me, it's just not enough. I just wanted the story to be more hype, a little more drama, a little more oomph, and juice into it. So overall, I just couldn't land a good and first impression on me. And it seems like it's trying to play it safe. Really, they didn't go super deep into it, like trying to add more cheese to it. I don't know. I mean, if you look at Most Wanted, the way the game begins, it's pretty different. I mean, take a look at it and you'll know, probably know what I'm talking about. And this one, it's a little more safe, even though they throw out the bros and dudes and mans and all that stuff. It's still kind of safe in my opinion. And again, it just couldn't draw me in enough. So with everything said, I'm gonna give this game a solid 6 out of 10. It's slightly average, and it's not a bad game, but it's just doesn't have the things that I wanted for this Need for Speed. So it's a very mixed bag, really, for a lot of people too. Mixed reviews, and I can see why. So the next day after I played this game it's gonna be a pretty sad story, but basically I went ahead and traded this game in, and thanks to what Best Buy has to offer for Gamers Club, I actually saved a lot of money. So I went ahead and got myself Fallout 4, pre-ordered it, and pretty much it's gonna come out soon. So pretty stoked. Never played a Bethesda game, but that'll be another story for another video or whatever. That'll be it for my review on Need for Speed on the PS4. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have your own reviews or thoughts about this game, please go ahead and leave them down in the comment section below. Tell me what you guys think about this game, whether you agree with me or not. And I appreciate it if you guys like, share, and subscribe for this channel. Really helps out the channel, and I highly appreciate it as always. Also, be sure to check out the links down in the description below, including my Patreon, Twitter, and also my Twitch for streams. So be sure to check those out, and hopefully you guys join in on the streams. So thank you again for tuning in for this video. I'll see you guys next time. Sean out.